first, let's start from the front. As we can see, he's going to split step, as his opponent hits the ball or just right after. And we're going to have a no backswing setup. Okay, it's not even a turn, it's a coil. Okay, notice the delay. Okay, I'm going to take this back, and I just want to point out from the ready position to the coil, look how far he gets his shoulders turned and his hips turned, and how little the racket moves. This is the key to the unit turn. Okay, keeping the butt of the racket relatively near your belly button and turning as a unit. So that's phase one. Okay, not setting the racket ahead of your body, having the delay, and keeping the non-hitting hand on the throat of the racket as well. Okay, now we're gonna see here, I think he's hitting a neutral stance forehand here, and boom. So the ball has clearly bounced, and he's only now letting go his hand off the throat. There's many players that will have the left hand follow the racket back. Okay, if it's not holding on to the throat, it's following closely, and this ensures that we're not opening the fridge looking for a late night snack in the backswing. We want to keep the shoulders together in order for them to go back together. You've also got an inverted racket head, but what you're just seeing is the racket face being in front of the hand, because again, we don't want to set it like a flashlight and have the racket behind our hand. We want to get that extra range of motion. That's how you create massive amounts of power and whip on the forehand. So phase one is the unit turn and keeping the racket head above the hand, okay, and in front of it. And the strings are slightly closed as well, because that's going to help with spin. Okay, we will be able to see in other angles, which we're going to look at in a second, but his back elbow is elevated. The back elbow is not tucked in, and if it was, this would most likely be laying open, and that's a common mistake that most people have, is this being laid open in this phase of the swing. Okay, so we want the strings slightly closed. Now in phase two, he's going to sit in the chair and pat the dog. Okay, now he's got more of an extreme grip, so at this point in the swing, his strings are facing to the ground, maybe even a little bit tilted to the back fence. That's just his style. Okay, but all good players have the racket closed at this position, and it's also the tip of the racket is parallel with the lines in the court, which we can't see right now, but it's parallel with the back fence. Okay, he's not pointing towards the ball with the butt cap. That's going to happen, but we can't skip steps. So step two, we've got the racket drop into pat the dog, and the racket head is still in front of the hand. Now notice how the non-hitting hand is also parallel with the lines in the court, and you're going to see that after he starts the swing from the ground up, he's going to use it to uncoil into the shot and pull it into his body. Now let's watch the uncoiling phase. Okay, boom, from the ground up, he's pulling in, he's uncoiling, boom. Okay, he's also got a bent arm at contact point, and that's totally fine, it's totally normal. There's even an argument that it could provide more power, and we see now the butt cap leads through as the last moving part, and the racket is the last part of the kinetic chain. Okay, now from here we relax the wrist and cover the ball with the windshield wiper. Okay, boom.